live on Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham, and we got some breaking news to dive into here as Eddie Jackson and Cody Whitehair have both been released by the Chicago Bears. This was expected, I would say. We've talked about this on multiple videos. They were our two primary cut candidates. They also were on our video we put out yesterday afternoon, which was kind of some major moves Ryan Poles could make to clear up cap space. And now it's come through. A couple of veterans, two of the longest tenured Bears on this football team, move on. Eddie Jackson after 7 seasons, Cody Whitehair after 8 seasons. And, you know, it's one of those bittersweet days, right? Like, it's bitter because both had good runs here. You wish this team had won more while they were here. And it's sweet because, you know, it's not sweet, but, like, there is a benefit. Like, you clear up over $21 million in cap space. So, you know, they got cut for a reason, if you will. And now it's about shifting toward the future. If you're the Chicago Bears, you got the Combine coming up, free agency after that. We'll talk about this in further detail here, but let us know your thoughts on everything in the live chat. And also, we got to go to Michael Horowitz here. Michael freaking Horowitz, because this one coming in from Michael Horowitz. Boom! Michael Horowitz with a $200 super chat. He says, I say for a guy that never wanted to get his head into a real collision, never wanted to actually make a full body tackle, I say the Bears save a lot of money, and I think it's a great move by the franchise. Obviously talking about Eddie Jackson there. Yeah, look, Eddie was never the most willing tackler, right? He was more that ball hawking safety. He didn't like to get his nose dirty. I thought his first year under Flus in 22, he was a more willing tackler. I thought Flus actually did a good job of getting him to tackle more. But when he had that foot injury, that caused him to miss the final 5 games, and, you know, he just never looked the same this year. So it's unfortunate, but I think it's the right move for the franchise. I mean, his cap hit of over $18 million for this next year was just going to be way too much. So, Michael, shout out to you. We'll flash the super chat menu in a minute to show you what $200 gets you today, and it's good stuff. So, shout out to Michael Horowitz. Okay, we'll hit some other ones too as we do discuss the breaking news of Eddie Jackson and Cody Whitehair being released by the Chicago Bears. We appreciate all 482 of you tuning in to the show. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Shout out your city. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from. Shout out your city. Let us know where you guys are watching. We got Rebecca in Fort Myers. That's where Rolly is. Rolly's on vacation in Fort Myers. Hit him up, Rebecca. Hit him up, Rebecca. Well, Bears Now drinks on me. I made that offer last week. Jeremy Chugg's filling in today. And I made that offer last week, Jeremy, that if Rolly and Rebecca want to do a little Bears Now, it doesn't have to be romantic, just a friendly little beverage.
Yeah.
Drinks on me.
Hey, little free drink action. I won't say no to that.
And hey, if you're not a drinker, free food on me. That's cool too.
Yeah, a little app, maybe some Mott Sticks.
Mott Sticks.
Top app.
Little chips and queso, perhaps.
If I'm going to a nice restaurant, top app, calamari.
Yeah, I'm a big fried calamari guy. Got some at Albernays. It was fantastic. We got Braxton in Wichita. Chugs is here to party with us, so we appreciate him tuning in here.
Lucas, last 2 position players from the 2018 team, right? I think Scales is the only
Patrick
one
Scales,
left.
the long snapper.
Dude.
Who's technically a free agent, but I expect him to be
Long snappers are
back.
people too.
They are.
Longest tenured Texan, John Weeks. He's been with the team for 15 years.
The only time long snappers are not people is when they have a bad snap.
Oh, yeah. But these guys are machines now. I don't remember the last time in the NFL I've seen
Dude,
like
the detail
snap.
too, like if you listen to like professional special teams coordinators, they're like, yeah, they know exactly how many rotations of the spin it is, so they can like get the holder to like catch it perfectly with the laces out. Like that's why you don't see laces out that often, because these long snappers are magicians.
I mean, they're perfect.
They're
Just
unbelievable.
like our presenting sponsor today, the Game Time app, the perfect place to buy tickets.
Go check out some Bulls games with Game Time. Go check them out. Shout out Game Time for sponsoring today's show. It is the All-Star break, but if you want to hit up some games after the break. Plenty available. And, hey, football season may be over, but Game Time is still going to get you the best prices available at last-minute opportunities, whether you're going to a concert, a theater show, comedy show like Jeremy Chuggs in Las Vegas. He saw – who'd you go see out there?
It was a lineup. It was Shane Gillis, Tom Segura, and Bert Kreischer. It was amazing. And I used the Game Time app, saved $20 using Bears chat. It was awesome.
Listen, he got the best price. I mean, he wasn't even planning on going. He's hanging out in Vegas with Mitchell Renz. Day of ticket gets the best price available. Go check it out. Game Time link is in the live chat right now. It'll be in the comments and in the description as well. Check out Game Time. Last minute tickets, best price available. They'll show you your exact vantage point. I've used it for same day events on multiple occasions, and you can too. I know Jeremy's a big fan.
A sneaky feature on Game Time. Sneaky feature. If you look over here, you see all the Bulls games, and you're like, at the bottom, what is that? It tells you whenever they're doing special events at the game. So that Bucks-Bulls game, it has a little icon right there. That must mean they're giving away like a free t-shirt at the game.
One more sneaky feature as well. You can pay with Venmo. So if you have money in your Venmo balance, it's like you didn't even pay. That's what I tell myself.
Or if you want to get the boys together, you say, hey, I'll get the tickets. Everybody just Venmo me X amount.
Exactly.
Perfect timing.
Promo code BearsChat gets you $20 off. Go check them out today. But a lot of you guys are here because of the news of Cody Whitehair and Eddie Jackson being released. So,
I mean, do you like the move or?
It's a good move.
Yeah.
Both had good runs. Cody Whitehair's kind of washed at this point. Eddie Jackson's on the decline, and he costs too much. So I think it's the right move.
Colbert says, what is Jeremy Chuggs' run? Last time I checked, not that good, like a 9-minute mile. But I gotta get it. I gotta get it up.
Well, Jeremy and I have been we've been trying to shed a little bit of weight. Chuggs has done a much better job than I have. But
I have a little help. But.
Hey, listen. Hey, it's however.
This wasn't scripted, but I wanted to ask this because I haven't been on Bears in a while. And looking back a year later, we're about a year away from that trade that happened. I think a little bit more than a year. You talked about how it happened early.
It was
like in January.
No, it was after the combine.
After the combine?
It's been like 11 and a half months.
We're close.
It was before free agency.
We're close. Almost a year away. Was the Chicago and Carolina trade last year one of the biggest fleecings of all time?
It was a good trade.
The Panthers give up their star wide receiver and the #1 pick in this year's draft in a arguably much more loaded draft than last year.
Yeah, now look, if the Bears had knowledge that C.J. Stroud was going to be as good as he was, the team you cover, the Texans, you probably just stay at 1 and take him. But they weren't, like, the Bears were still too far away, and they still needed to evaluate Justin Fields further. So it was definitely the right move. And, Carolina's in the shitter, and the Bears are trending up. So pretty good trade by Mr. Ryan Poles.
I mean, you trade for the #1 pick, you give up your first-round pick next year, and you end up getting the #1 pick. Like, that is
definitely some luck there to get the #1 pick again.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not totally out on Bryce Young. I thought he was dealt a very unfair hand.
I mean, Carolina's logic of let's go get our quarterback, but trade our only good offensive player to get him is like, what are you doing? I mean, fleece.
It was bad. It was bad.
A lot of yeses in there. Some pay Jalen Johnson's in the chat. Yeah, this helps you do that, right? I mean, you clear about $21.5 million. That might be right around what Jalen Johnson commands per year. So I expect Jalen to be here. He could be franchise tagged initially, but the Bears got cap space to get it done. So I would hope that ends up happening.
We have some more build-up to do, but I think we just get into the cut and kind of break down.
Let's do it, yeah.
Break down what's going on with these two Bears who got cut and the implications
let's show the super chat menu first, and then we'll get into this news and react. We got some other segments we're going to hit as well because we had our full show scripted. We were actually getting ready to go live for our normal show anyway. Then this came in, so we were going to change up the super chat menu a little bit, but breaking news, we had to get into the studio. So every super chat we get, I'll continue this one tonight, equals 1 minute of my workout tonight. Now, I do I'm like doing at least 40 minutes now, so you're going to have to bring the heat if you want me to do a little overtime.
You're already at a 3-minute workout.
There you go. How about this? Let's spice it up a little bit. How about this? How about 2 minutes for every super chat, or 2 minutes for every super chat?
Okay.
I'm putting a little damage to myself
Are
potentially
you
here.
capping it at anything?
We'll cap it at a
2-hour workout?
hour 40. So if we get 50 super chats, I mean, we'll take more super chats, of course, but if we get up to a 100-minute workout, I'll cap it there. But that's...
How about this? Anything that's over 100 minutes, I will do that workout.
Ooh, I like that. Or how about this? Just came out with this. Every super chat is a minute and a half for each of us. So if we get 30 super chats, that's 45 minutes each. If we get 40 super chat, you know what I'm saying?
I'm down.
All right, that's what we'll do. Every super chat is 90 seconds of our workout. For me tonight, whenever Jeremy works out next. I don't know when Jeremy works out. Are you a morning or a night guy?
I am more of a morning guy.
Okay. You could split yours into 2 if needed, just based on your time constraints. But that's what we'll do.
Oh, Aaron.
That's what we'll
coming
do.
in with the heat.
Also, I'll go through the rest of the super chat. $10. I don't have the Ditka jersey in here, but signed Mike Ditka jersey. You can get up to 3 raffle tickets per show. So Horowitz already has 3 more tickets for this show. Alex just sent in 20, so you got 2. That's also a shot for Alex, so I'll have to do that. $50. So Horowitz has 4 helmet stickers. He also gets 2 booms as well. Hall of Fame discount for to get a sticker on here. $50 today. He sent in 200, so he gets 4. He also gets 2 boom board. Whoever gets the most booms on the month, you will win our biggest prize yet, which
reminds me of that Black Eyed Peas song.
Is yet to be exactly.
I got that boom boom pow.
That boom boom pow.
Aaron Wolf.
Workout. Well,
I mean, he's coming in like
there you have it.
LMFAO. I promise you, I'm switching the graphic. He just said the same. Oh, this one he said work it.
Work it. Yes, I love it. I love it.
Fimmy, here comes the JJ extension. LFG and FGB. Bear down, baby.
Yeah, you would think that's going to be a no-brainer for Ryan Poles.
Alex, for the North.
Take the North. Victory! Shout out, Alex. You get 2 tickets, and also I got to take a shot in a second.
Hey, let's go. Isaiah.
Blue ball.
FGB. 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 FGB.
That's Isaiah's 5th ticket of the month.
Oh, let's go.
Shout out to Isaiah.
Aaron Wolf,
He's contributing to the workout fund. Oh, here he goes. He's figured out the hack. He's figured out the hack with these little $2 super chats. All right, Aaron, we got you.
The Notcast.
Everyone's saying Roma Dunze at 9. If Caleb gets drafted, could you see a scenario where the Giants prefer Roma Dunze and we end up taking Neighbors? It's possible. Recent mock drafts, and we're going to do a Bears mock draft roundup, so stay tuned. You're seeing more Odunze stock up, Neighbors a little stock down for some reason. So I definitely think that's possible. I'll be honest, I don't have a strong opinion. Like, if one of those guys is there, that's almost an automatic draft for me. So if one of them gets to 9, I'd be very comfortable taking them. If both are gone and Brock Bowers is there, I would take Brock. If all 3 of those guys are gone, I'd probably look to trade down.
They say Rome wasn't built in day 1.
Hey, he will be drafted on day 1, though. Aaron Wolf, work out more. Keep contributing. There he goes.
Get that Drake yummy.
Let me get that. Drake or drink? What's that Drake yummy?
I don't know.
I don't know that reference. I gotta take a shot for
Onions.
Onions.
Bernie, if Brock Bowers is at 9, I don't care. He's the pick. What are your thoughts on this?
I wouldn't take him over Neighbors or Odunze, but I also wouldn't mind it either. Like I've been on Brock Bowers for 2.5 years.
I might take him.
Yeah, I mean, look, him and Kmet would be the best tight end duo in football, I think. If Bowers, if he
pans out.
If he pans out,
yes.
But yeah, I mean, he's a stud, dude. I love Brock Bowers. I mean, he's been Georgia's best offensive player for 3 years.
Push-ups.
Aaron Wolf. I haven't lost enough weight to commit to big push-ups on the show, but hopefully we'll get there, right? If this workout's longer, then we'll get there.
Isaiah, what about Daniels and Neighbors be the new Burrow and Chase? He's on the Jaden Daniels train.
He's trying to get the LSU chemistry combo there is what he's shooting for. I like Jaden Daniels, but I'm not going to take him just so I can pair him with Neighbors. I'll just pair Caleb with Neighbors.
You trade down to 2 if you're doing that too, by the way.
Yeah. You're not taking Jaden Daniels number 1, but it's not the worst idea.
Oh.
Aaron.
Yes. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
I actually did not. Is this some weird
triple X rated content?
Okay. You guys Google at your own risk. Josh Canale, who is a good replacement for Eddie Jackson. So we'll explore replacements tomorrow. One name I'll throw at you, Geno Stone from the Ravens.
I actually have, if you want to use if you want me to throw up my list right now, I have the top 6 free agent safeties on my list.
Yeah, if you want to throw it into, is it like Winfield and all those dudes? Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to throw that into the show, we can. When we talk about Bojack, we can hit that there.
Yeah, I have it in there, and it has. I think it's not my list. I would say it's pretty much the consensus top 6 safeties available.
Yeah. Rolly who? Chugs is getting the graphics ready.
I'm just.
Rolly's on vacation.
Yeah, he's sipping.
Guy goes on vacation sipping pina coladas, and we're here grinding away.
He's sipping Mai Tais. I'm talking about our guys. Let's
go.
Let's go.
Hit him with the bars. All right, Chugs.
Just saying.
Oh, man. We caught up here?
I think so.
All right,
Before we get started.
Yeah, we need more likes.
130 people watching. Only 140 likes. Let's get that number up. If you want the Bears to win the NFC North this year.
I'll take a shot for every 300 likes.
If you want the Bears to win the NFC North this year, smash that like button. I see 850 people in here. Apparently not everybody wants the Bears to win the division next year.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not motivated.
The toughest division in football. You have the Lions.
One of
you have
them,
the Packers.
It's gonna be. You know what's funny? Coming into this year, it was like, does this division suck? And then 4 months later, it's like, this might be one of the best, if not the best division in 2024.
It's funny because the AFC South might be the same thing.
Yeah, if the Jags bounce back.
And if Anthony Richardson is him.
Yeah.
I don't know. We have a couple more super chats. We're going to get to that.
Hit the likes. Every 300, I'm taking a shot.
I want you to that like button.
Don't just tickle the like button. Smash it.
Get in there. Get in there.
Get in there.
Jake
Jovich. Was this the first timer we got? This is a first time.
This is a first time.
Shout out Jake. Bear down from New Zealand. Shout out to Jake.
Oh, wow.
Love what you guys are doing. Bears community is a win. I appreciate that, Jake.
Good day, mate.
Let me guess what time it is in New Zealand right now. I'm going to say it's 8 o'clock in the morning. 8:02? Is that correct, Jake? 8:02 in the morning? I'll be looking at the live chat. If someone sees it, let me know.
8:02? I'm going...
The next morning, by the way. Friday.
I'm going a little Price is Right. I'm going 7:02.
Okay. It's either 8. I think it's either 8 or 9. Because the reason I know that is, I'm sticking 8:02.
Okay.
I used to watch the Australian Open a lot, which I know.
Oh, he's going
close.
11.
Okay. Yeah. Now looking at him, looking at a map, it's even further that way than Australia.
Yeah. Isaiah Cooper DeJean.
Is it DeJean or DeJean?
I heard
a lot of debate. I think it is DeJean.
I think it's DeJean, even though it's a lot more fun to say DeJean.
Iowa fans, help me. Would be a great pickup if we trade down and chunk, but Geno's good too. Go Iowa boys. Yeah, I mean, DeJean, does he play corner in the NFL? Does he play safety in the NFL? It'll be interesting. But yeah, Will Compton will draft you. Thomas Kozlowski, can Poles move up to get Caleb and Marvin Harrison Jr., then drop the mic? I mean, that if he pulls that off, that's doing something. That's doing something. We talked about that on a video earlier today. Thomas, let me get you down for a ticket for the why can't I talk? Mike Ditka jersey. Thank you. This is why Chugs is here. We should trade one back to Carolina for they don't have 5 firsts to trade you. But yeah, the idea of that is find the next sucker, just like with Carolina. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, let's get into this cut. Mr. Graham, we're going to be talking about the 2 guys who got cut, the implications that come with it.
Let's go. Let Smitty know.
More. Are you ready to rumble?
We are ready to rumble. Let's go. Hit the like button. Eddie Jackson, Cody Whitehair, they've both been cut. We'll talk about that, relive their time a little bit in Chicago, talk about the cap implications. Lots to dive into here on Chicago Bears Now. Breaking news here on Chicago Bears Now. The Bears have cut a pair of veteran players, Eddie Jackson and Cody Whitehair. Farewell to two, I don't want to say Bears legends, but pretty good players here in Chicago. Whitehair's been here for 8 seasons. Jackson's been here for 7. We'll talk about each of them one by one, the cap implications for both, and kind of put it all together as the video goes on as well. But this is why you subscribe to the channel. We're putting out at least 2 videos per day here on Chicago Bears Now. We're going live at least twice per week here on this channel. We break down the latest Bears news like this, rumors, and analysis. And we're also covering the draft and free agency as close as anyone as well. Trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the draft. We're at 87,000 and change. If you would subscribe, if you haven't already, it would mean the world. It's 100% free. And if you have, spread the word. Spread this channel to a friend, and let's try to get more Bears fans in here. All right, let's talk about Eddie Jackson getting cut. After 7 seasons, the Bears are releasing Bojack. And look, with both of these players, and I know we're focusing on Eddie here, this is to be expected, right? Eddie Jackson just did not have a great season this year for the Chicago Bears, and you wondered how he would play coming off that Lisfranc foot injury. You look at the numbers here. Played in 12 games, and a few of those he left early because he kept re-aggravating that foot. PFF grade was low. Quarterbacks ratings when targeting Eddie was over 121. Now, I thought the last month or so he played better, although he wasn't very good against Green Bay. But the few weeks before that, I thought he was finding his game again a little bit. Had that nice interception against the Browns late in the year. So I still think he can start in this league, but he didn't look the same this season. He just didn't look like that player. I give Eddie Jackson a lot of credit. I thought when Ryan Poles took this job, he might have been cut when they cut, Danny Trevathan and traded Khalil Mack. But Matt Eberflus vouched for him, wanted to coach him, and I thought he got Jackson back re-engaged because you remember he was awesome in 2018 and 19, wasn't great in 20 and 21, and Bears fans wanted him out of here. Played great in 2022, but then he suffered that foot injury and just wasn't the same player this season. I think that was pretty obvious. He just looked a step slow. I don't know if he ever trusted that foot fully. And when you factor in how much he was set to make this year against the salary cap, it was kind of a no-brainer, right? $18.14 million. I mean, that's all pro safety money, and he's just not that guy at this point in his career. So you save over $12.5 million by moving on here. It's a pretty obvious move. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. If he wanted to take a major pay cut, like a $10 million pay cut, maybe you could justify keeping him. But, unless he was willing to get close to that $12.5 million pay cut, then I think moving on was going to make sense. And Eddie Jackson probably thinks he can make some decent coin in free agency. So we'll see where he ends up. I think a team like the Eagles make a lot of sense. They had safety issues. I would expect him to sign with a contender, but he is no longer going to be in Chicago, which is going to create a need for safety at the for the safety position for the Bears, which we have some names that they could target here in a moment. I want to know, what's your favorite Eddie Jackson memory? Favorite Bojack moment? I think for me, as you guys get your comments down below, I just think that entire 2018 season, which of course is a major what if after the double doink, we all know that. He was special, man. He was a special free safety that year. He was just terrific. He had a couple of pick sixes, 5 breakups. I think he actually had 6 interceptions in total. I typed 2 twice because he had 2 of them were for touchdowns, but he was great. I thought he was good again in 2019. He wasn't the same in 20 and 21. Bounced back in 22. Wasn't the same last year. But I'll always like Eddie Jackson. At times he was frustrating to watch because he didn't tackle much, but he still did a lot of good things here, and I definitely don't want to hold that against him. Jeremy, do we have that safety list? We'll get to that here in a second here, producing live on the fly. Shout out to Jeremy Chuggs. Some of the top names in free agency to monitor right here. Now, a guy like Antoine Winfield, he could be a tag candidate for Tampa. We'll see what they do there. Mike Evans under consideration as well. Kyle Duggar, Cameron Curl, some interesting names. Xavier McKinney, Jordan Fuller. I like Geno Stone with Baltimore. He emerged this year. I think he had like 7 interceptions, and I don't think he's going to cost a ton because they use like 3 safety looks a lot in Baltimore. Obviously, the Bears run more of a traditional 2 safety package, so he would get a bigger opportunity here, but maybe he wouldn't cost as much. You would certainly want to pay someone less than what Eddie Jackson was going to cost you, right? So certainly something to look at. If you're looking at some guys in the draft, Tyler Nubin, we've taken him in a couple of our mock drafts. Cameron Kinchin's teammates of Tyreek Stevenson at Miami. That could be an interesting one. Kalen Bullock out of USC, and then Javon Bullard, a guy we've taken in a lot of our mocks as well. So I definitely think that's obviously a position of need. Elijah Hicks, God bless him, he is not a starter in this league at this point. He has value as a backup and a special teamer, but he is not the answer to replace Eddie Jackson. So now you got to find out who is, and it's definitely another need that gets created. You know, it's always fun and games when you say, well, you cut a player to save cap space. Well, you're going to have to replace Eddie Jackson. It's not as big of a deal with Cody Whitehair, who was a backup by the end of last season. We'll talk about Cody Whitehair here in just a moment, but first, let's talk about today's sponsor, Game Time. The All-Star break is here, but plenty of Bulls games to check out in the upcoming future. Go do that right now with Game Time, which is the app for last-minute tickets for the best price guaranteed. You can get up to $20 off when you sign up today using code BearsChat. That's for new customers only, promo code BearsChat. What I like about Game Time is you're going to see the exact vantage point of the venue you're attending. Maybe it's a stadium you're not familiar with. Maybe you haven't gone to a game at the Bulls Arena in a while, and you're like, I don't know what Section 204 means. Oh, here's your looking point. Plus, a note Jeremy Chuggs made, our producer today, that little blue dot next to that game at the bottom, that signifies special event, so they might be giving away free T-shirts that night. They might be doing this, doing that, so go check out all of that. Big thing I like about Game Time, too, is you can pay with your Venmo balance. It's almost like you're not paying at all. I mean, you are, but, mentally you're not. Use that promo code BearsChat when you download the Game Time app today. Search the App Store. Also, we got a link in the comments and in the description and in the live chat if you're watching live. Game Time, last-minute tickets for the lowest price guaranteed. You can bank on that. All right, we shift to Cody Whitehair now, who spent 8 seasons in Chicago. The decline's been evident for a few years now, especially this year, and it finally got to the point where he had to be benched, which, was a little tough to see, but it was necessary. They tried to bring him back this year and tried to move him back to center, and it just didn't work. He couldn't snap the ball, and I think that lack of versatility now where, even if he's not a starter, if he could play both guard spots and center, there'd still be value there, but you can't trust him to play center. So I think it's time to move on, and that's why they've done this. And, again, PFF is just one measuring service, but I would say these grades match up with the eye test. He just doesn't have that anchor anymore. He's lost some power, and that happens. He's an older player. He's been in the NFL for 8 years. He's taken a beating, and he's been an absolute warrior for this team. And unfortunately, he's kind of washed. That's just what it is. And, I'll be curious to see if he continues his career. Does he want to go be a backup for a vet team somewhere? Maybe he can start for a young, up-and-coming team and be kind of that veteran presence perhaps. But when you consider what his cap situation was, I mean, even more than Eddie almost. I methis $13.25 million for a guy who's not going to start for you. You save $9.15 million. I mean, that's the ultimate no-brainer. And, this is a bittersweet business. I mean, these are guys that have been leaders and been veterans on this team, but money comes into play, and you got to be moving forward if you're Ryan Poles, and that's what they've done here. So the good news for the Bears is, again, you're not replacing a starter here. Obviously, you got to go get a center. The Whitehair, Lucas Patrick thing didn't work out. I don't think Patrick's going to be back. I don't think Dan Feeney's going to be back. You got Nate Davis and Tevin Jenkins as your starting guards. I like Tyree Carter. I do think adding guard depth / competition perhaps for Nate Davis could make some sense, but you do that in the draft, or you do that with the cheap backup, right, in free agency. You don't do that with $13 million Cody Whitehair. So we'll see what the Bears do in that spot, but certainly the bigger shoes to fill for the 2024 roster is Eddie Jackson, a clear starter at that free safety position. So certainly an area that the Bears are going to have to target in free agency and or the NFL draft. So get in the comments and show these two players some love. They've been around for a while. Cody Whitehair, Eddie Jackson, type 65, type 4, their jersey numbers. We appreciate them. They've both had really good runs in Chicago, and wish them both well. Again, I'll be curious to see if Cody keeps playing. He could certainly retire, and that would be justifiable. And I definitely think Eddie Jackson will keep playing. I think he can start for some teams in this league. So we'll see how that all shakes out, and we wish them the best moving forward. All right, hit that subscribe button if you want more Bears news and rumors content. We're here every single day, publishing at least 2 videos per day, so we appreciate the love and the support. Turn on those notifications as well. That way you never miss a video. Got some super chats to get to.
Good cut.
Shout out to Wasim. Good cut. That's just a good rep there, you know?
Yeah.
Smitty know that we're good to go?
Yeah, I messaged in Proddy.
Cool. Wasim says, Rolly went on vacation for the All-Star break. Bullard from Georgia for safety. I'm aware, Wasim. I work with Rolly.
I think other people in the chat.
Oh, right. Yeah, so a good point by Wasim and by Chugs.
He got fired.
So, yeah. No, Rolly, he does a lot of NBA work for us as well. And so for him to take a vacation, the NBA season's not over until June. So the All-Star break is kind of the one gap that makes sense. So he's gone. I think he's back middle next week.
The Heat are going to be bounced round 1, so it's not.
True. He could take another vacation in late April. So, well, that's the NFL draft, early May.
Oh, never mind.
Mr. Inglewood, can Bojack be re-signed for the money he's still owed? What do you mean? Like, can he be re-signed for the money he's still owed?
I'm guessing they're saying, can you just re-sign him?
You can re-sign both these guys if you want to, but they put tribute videos out for both. I don't think either are coming back.
That would also.
And Eddie Jackson in particular, that would be one where it's like, if you can't come to a pay cut.
It wouldn't be you cut him and then you bring him back. It would be if they were keeping him, they would ask him to take a pay cut and restructure.
And maybe they did, and neither player was interested.
Which, I mean.
Now, there have been rare occasions where you cut a player and then, like, June's here, July's here, they haven't been signed, and they're like...
Happened with the Texans this year.
I'll come back for the vet minimum.
They cut Desmond King in preseason. Middle of the year, he wasn't working out with the Pittsburgh Steelers, got put on their practice squad, and then the Texans re-signed him.
So it does happen. I don't think that'll happen with Eddie Jackson. He'll start somewhere. Maybe Cody, if he doesn't find a proper home and wants to be a vet minimum backup mentor type, but... Again, are you launching tribute videos for guys that you think could be back? I don't think so. Aaron Wolf, if the Bears can get into R2, round 2, there's good safeties there. Yeah, we just showed Kinchins, Newbin are a couple of guys.
Which,
so
in some of the latest mock drafts, there's been no safeties taken in the first round.
Yeah, Kinchins early on was, but recent mocks he hasn't been going. So now the Bears currently don't have a second-round pick, to your point, but trade Justin Fields, you might get a second-round pick. So
do you trade back at 9 if you don't love it there? Get a first and a second?
I've said this, Chugs, and let me know what you think about this. My scenarios at 9, ranking them. If Odunze or Neighbors is there, you take one of them. That's my best-case scenario. 2 is Bowers. If he's there, I would take him. 3, I would trade down, but if you can't find a trade partner, 4 would be take one of the edges like Dallas Turner. Probably just Turner's, I think, clear edge 1 for me. I like Law 2 and Verse, but I think 9's a little rich. And then 5 is take one of the tackles if you just want to upgrade from Braxton Jones. So if one of the receivers or tight ends isn't there, I think trading down's more than viable.
Hear me out. You trade down into the teens if one of those teams are like teens, or even I'd be willing, if I'm the Bears, trade down into like early 20s in the first round from that pick number 9.
I'd want a future first to go that far.
You get a second round pick as well. You get it with your other first round pick, Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon.
Yeah, I would love him.
Then you get one of these safeties in the second round, and then you get a receiver in the third, because the receivers, it's a very loaded draft, and a name that everybody should be keeping in mind. Somebody that has been told to me multiple times from multiple people, second, third rounder, Javon Baker out of UCF. Go watch his film.
Yeah, people are high on him.
Very, very good prospect.
Very fast, explosive. He's going to be a combine warrior. He's going to put up crazy numbers.
After the combine and all the process, he might go
round 2.
Yeah, but
he might.
If he can slide into round 3, he could be a steal.
Yeah.
He could be a steal.
It's a
now
deep
we
receiver
do,
class.
we do have some more super chats
Yeah, we'll hit some super chats
to
and
get to.
we have more segments to hit to. We'll circle back to the news. So those who are watching us live, we do go live every Monday and Thursday. We're still working on a potential 3 live per week schedule, so stay tuned for that. But what are you laughing at?
I just look up and in the chat, the first thing I see is, you guys think Chugs is a virgin?
Well, should you tell him the news? My man got married. He's doing a ceremony, in a month or so?
End of the month.
Ooh.
I actually leave next Thursday.
How long are you gone? A week? 10 days?
A week. Yeah, saved
Exciting.
it for marriage. Joke's on you, Alex.
Little Birdie says that's not true.
The no cat is Khalil reliable. It seems like after the 23s and all these backups, the 23 season and all these backup success, a la Ford, Edwards, P. Ryan, etc. You can put anyone back there if you have a great line. Is drafting a running back even worth it? I think so. Drafting a running back, I would wait for the 4th, 5th round.
Middle rounds. I like Bucky Irving.
I don't think a running back goes until day 2.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's the first 10 picks in round 2.
I mean, Jonathan Brooks is like the top guy, but he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So that's tough.
I mean, you have Bucky Brooks, who obviously really good.
Bucky Irving, you mean?
I mean, Bucky Irving. I just mixed those two names that you just said.
Bucky Brooks, though, NFL draft analyst.
Yes.
Ironic enough.
Bucky Irving. You also have, I'm really interested to see where Blake Corum goes.
3rd, 4th. He's not super explosive, but he's very shifty. I would take him in the 3rd
Alex,
or 4th.
that's another one of my...
I like Marshawn
That's
Lloyd.
another one of my sneaky names that I like.
If you draft Caleb, too, get his teammate in there.
Reunite him.
Reunited.
Then you can get Brendan Rice.
Yeah, and Taj Washington.
Alex, gonna miss Eddie. He had a great 2018
He did.
season.
That was one of the best seasons for a safety in a long time. He was dominant. He was very good. That's what got him paid. And then
Graham, if you can get Trey Benson in the 3rd, I wouldn't mind that.
Benson's good. Out of Florida State, good back. It's a good middle rounds draft for backs.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a great back, but there's a lot of good backs.
This totally slipped my mind. We're about to do a mailbag. So use hashtag Bears or Super Chat.
Let's go.
I'll hit some of those Super Chats that already came in. We can talk about those. But if you want to get on the show right now,
Load them up.
hashtag Bears, or you can Super Chat. I'll try to go back and find some of the Super Chats that were already answered that I think are good questions. But if you want to get on, do that. I wasn't even. I looked out. I was like, what's our next segment?
We're talking shop, man. We're good. We're good to go here. Good to go here. Go Lagoon. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat.
Shout out to UNT, best school in the DFW area.
Chugs and I'll tell you what, if TCU and UNT ever play,
we got to get sideline passes.
yeah, it's gonna be something. Well, I may have a connection.
I'll hit up Chandler.
I may have a connection through TCU.
I have
so.
a connection through UNT.
Let's
Chandler
go.
Jones or Chandler Morris.
I hope it's not Chandler Jones.
Chandler.
Although he's back. Did you see his tweet?
No.
He said he did one of those like notes app tweets of, I've been going through personal stuff the last couple of months.
Oh, we know.
Want to know that want to let everybody know that I'm sorry if I hurt anyone. Blah blah blah.
I've been going through some personal things.
Says he's back.
I've been going through some personal things. Chandler, we know.
Dude, the replies were epic. It was like, when you beat CTE.
Oh God.
Hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. I'll tell you what, too. I'll make a deal. Every $50 we get total, doesn't even have to be one Super Chat. Every $50 we get from now until the end of this mailbag, I'll do a beer bong. I'll do a beer bong every 50 total, so we probably got 15 minutes or so.
Not too shabby.
Hey, if we get $200, I got to do 4 beer bongs. So if you guys are interested in that, we'll make a little deal here. So let's get it popping here. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Get your questions on the show. We'll take some questions, and then we'll keep it rolling here. We got a couple more segments to come. Here on today's live show, we'll continue to react to Cody Whitehair and Eddie Jackson getting cut as well.
All right, here we go. Let's go into a Bears mailbag.
Today's Bears mailbag is sponsored by Manscaped. If you want to get the best men's grooming products out there, below the waist grooming, you got the grooming up here as well. Promo code Bears20 at manscaped.com. I've been using Manscaped for several years now, and trust me, it's never been better to be a dad these days. You think I became a dad by accident? No. Manscaped delivered, and the rest is history. It could do the same for you. If you don't want a kid, that's cool too, but you can spice things up downstairs, if you know what I'm saying. All right, Aaron Wolf here. If the Bears can get into round 2, there's good safeties there. This, of course, coming off the heels of Eddie Jackson being cut. Yeah, there's some good safeties in that range here, round 2, round 3. I think that's where you'd find a lot of these players right here. Tyler Nubin, the safety out of Minnesota. Cameron Kinchins, I think they're both early, mid-round 2 guys. Kalen Bullock out of USC, maybe late round 2, early round 3. Same with Javon Bullard. I like all these players. I think they can all start right away. I'll be curious to see if the Bears go veteran or rookie to fill that free safety spot. Thomas Kozlowski, can Poles move up to get Caleb and Marvin Harrison Jr., then drop the mic? That'd be something, Thomas. A recent mock draft had the Bears getting both, where they trade up with New England and send the Patriots 9 and Justin Fields in some kind of trade there. So obviously it takes 2 to tango, but yeah, I mean, for the MHJ crowd, if you could get him and Caleb, that would be that'd be something special. Isaiah Bluebaugh, Cooper DeJean would have to be a great pickup if we trade down a chunk, but Geno Stone is good too. Go Iowa boys. Yeah, Geno Stone, I think, is a name to keep in mind. I don't think you're going to have to break the bank for him. I think he's a quality starter, ball-hawking type of safety. Had like 7 picks for the Ravens this year. Josh Canale, who's a good replacement for Eddie Jackson? A lot of Eddie Jackson questions. You look at some safety options in free agency. We just mentioned Geno Stone. You know, you got the big-name guys, right? Antoine Winfield, Kyle Duggar, Cameron Curl, Xavier McKinney. I'm going to go a little lesser names. Jordan Fuller, Geno Stone are out there as well. I don't think they'll go big with like a Winfield or Duggar, but I think that Stone, maybe you get McKinney on a cheaper deal. He's getting a little bit older, so be interesting to see what the safety market is. Craven Moorhead, should the Bears trade the number 9 pick for Brandon Ayuk? Craven? Jeremy, what are you laughing at? I get it. But, you know, it's, you know, don't make fun of Craven here. Come on. I got to get back on track here. Chugs thinks he got me. He actually didn't. I was just trying to power through. Craven. I do like Brandon Ayuk. Craven. He had an all-pro caliber season. I mean, think about pairing this guy with DJ Moore. 2 1,300-yard guys this year. Ayuk had 7 touchdowns. Moore had 8 touchdowns. Ayuk seems to be frustrated, so we'll see if he actually hits the trade market. Now, would I trade him straight up for the 9th overall pick? I don't know about that, but maybe 9 for Ayuk in like a 3rd, get a pick back or a 2nd back. I'd be open to that because you're going to have to pay him too. He's entering the last year of his rookie deal, so you let me know. Would you trade the 9th pick straight up for Brandon Ayuk? Type Y for yes, or you can type in for no. Get your votes in down in the comments section. Oh, Geezer, convert Baskerville to safety, has size and hustle. I like Micah Baskerville, but he was on the practice squad for a reason. I don't think he's going to be the answer. Could he make the 53 next year as a backup safety linebacker type? Perhaps, but I don't think he's going to be your starter. Eric Cripps, first-time super chatter. You also enter our Mike Ditka signed jersey raffle for the month. He says, FGB, how come everyone wants a playmaker with the first 2 picks in the draft just to watch a new QB run for his life? Trenches need to be built up. JF1 can win with proper O-line play. I hear what you're saying, but you also have some decent players up front. Obviously, you got to get a center, but you're not going to take one at 1 or 9. You could upgrade from Braxton Jones at left tackle, go with Joe Alt if he's sitting there, Olu Fashanu perhaps, but it's you know, I think adding more playmakers is a pretty big need as well. Ja Johnson, you're 100% sure Caleb was better? No, I'm not. I'm not 100% sure. If I was 100% sure, I would have already dropped the video of just being like, yeah, I'm for sure going that direction. I'm leaning that way. I think there's a lot of reasons to do that, but I don't think there's anything that could happen that would make me 100% sure that him or any other prospect is going to be better than what you have in Justin Fields. The draft is always at least some level of a crapshoot. Scott Waja, who in the top 8 picks could take a receiver? I think if the Chargers don't draft one, Neighbors or Odunze will fall to 9. Yeah, I mean, I think Arizona at 4, if Marvin Harrison's sitting there, he's gone by then. The Giants at 6 could definitely take one. Chargers at 5 could definitely take one. I'm trying to think of 7 and 8. The Falcons at 8, I don't think they would take one, but they could to pair with Drake London. Trying to think who's picking at 7 here. Let me look real quick on the fly. The 7th pick, Tennessee, they could definitely take one. I mean, they signed DeAndre Hopkins. He's got 1 year left in his deal. Traylon Burks from Arkansas hasn't been great. So, yeah, there's a lot of teams that definitely could. New England at 3 could just say, you know what, we don't love these quarterbacks. We're going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. So, I think there's a decent chance one of them falls to 9, Scott, but I don't think it's a guarantee. Shout out to Game Time. Last minute tickets for the best prices guaranteed. Give us just a second here. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. We'll just scrap this afterwards, Chugs. We'll get to your questions coming up. Shout out to Manscaped for sponsoring today's mailbag video. You guys can get 20% off all of their men's grooming products, including the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra with promo code BEARS20. Let me tell you a little bit about this product. The new year is in full swing. You know, they always say new year, new me. How about new year trimmed balls? That is what you can get from Manscaped. Promo code BEARS20 gets you 20% off. It's never too late to up your grooming game and to keep your balls trimmed down below. They've upgraded their technology with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. It is absolutely fantastic. It's 5th generation. I was on this product when it was at the 2.0. Now it's up to the 5.0. It's not just a trimmer, it's your grooming sidekick. This thing is improved year after year. I'm a big fan of what they're doing. You want to get down and frisky? Well, you better trim it up downstairs. You don't want to be walking around with the Amazon rainforest. Trust me on that. Promo code BEARS20 at manscaped.com. This thing comes with 2 skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. Go check out Manscaped today, manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. It's not just a ball hair trimmer company. They have stuff for your beard, your nose hairs, tons of stuff available. They have different packages as well to get multiple items in there. Go check out their website, manscaped.com. Promo code BEARS20 gets you 20% off. Link in the comments and in the description. Brendan Henderson, because centers are so affordable, appreciate the super chat. First of all, is a center in free agency more feasible like a Connor Williams? Yeah, I mean, look, I think Connor Williams, obviously he tore his ACL, but I think he's an option if the medical checks out, if you think he's going to be ready. You look at a guy like Lloyd Cushenberry in Denver. You got Andre James in Vegas, who's a free agent. Obviously, you got Evan Brown in Seattle could follow Shane Waldron here. Tyler Biadasz in Dallas. Thank you, Jeremy. There's 5 or 6 guys that would be upgrades. A few of them wouldn't be like great options, but they'd be better than what you've had. So I'll be curious to see how much of an investment they make at center for sure. Joel Rodriguez, you take it Saquon if you can. I'm open to it. I might be on an island, but I think getting a legit RB1 is something I would at least explore. I like Khalil Herbert, but he tends to miss some time and he's a little inconsistent. He's not a great pass blocker, inconsistent pass catcher. I think his best role is like a number 2 change of pace back. I think getting a Saquon, a Josh Jacobs, a Derrick Henry on like a 1 or 2 year deal, 8 to 12 million bucks per year. I'm open to that, man. You got the cap space. I think it would help whoever your quarterback is, whether it's Justin Fields or Caleb Williams or someone else, and I would definitely be down with it. Ian Ships, do you think Bucky Irving could be RB2 or 1? I think as a rookie, he would be a rotation back. I don't think he would be a starter right away. But, if you took him and wanted to go Khalil Herbert RB1 with Roschon Johnson and Bucky Irving as kind of your guys that rotate in, I'd be fine with that. I am, like I said, intrigued by the true RB1 situation, but they may go more rotation. William Brock, thoughts on Brendan Rice in the 4th? Like it. Had a good Senior Bowl week. If you draft Caleb Williams, I like it even more because you'd get a guy with chemistry with him to come in here. I think he could compete to be, your number 3 type of receiver, depending on who you get in free agency. After DJ Moore, it's kind of open season right now, so certainly would be a good opportunity for him. Smash that subscribe button if you want daily Bears videos all off-season long. And for 100% free, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be here all off-season long. We got free agency coming up. I'm actually going to the NFL Combine, so we'll have some Combine content for you as well. YouTube.com/BearsNow. Don't forget to subscribe today. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers. Fernie, here comes the Jalen Johnson extension, LFG FGB. Yeah, with Eddie Jackson and Cody Whitehair getting cut, you've got well over $70 million now. Give Jalen Johnson 4 years, $80 million, 60 guaranteed, something like that. Still have a lot of money to use on other things, so I would certainly get that done. Luke Thompson, what's the Bears cap now? I don't have the exact number, but I think it's like low 70s million after these moves. You had like just under 50 million because it was like 60 something, but then they signed those guys to future contracts. That fills up some space. I think it's right about 72 million right now. It is projected. We haven't gotten the official 2024 salary cap number yet, but at least 70 million, Luke. Isaiah with the 5, appreciate it. What about Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors be the new Burrow and Chase? Well, if you want to trade down for Jaden Daniels, then draft Neighbors, you could do that, but I'm not taking Daniels 1. I would rather, if you're going to draft a quarterback, just take Caleb Williams, but I like Jaden Daniels. He's my QB3. I love Malik Neighbors. He's my wide receiver 2, so yeah, I get the logic there, but I think Caleb and Neighbors could certainly build chemistry as well. Be honest with me. Do you trust Ryan Poles? Type T for trust or D for don't. T for trust, D for don't. Let Jeremy and I know down in the comment section down below. Puppy Chulo sits Fields and the number 9 pick to Atlanta for $843 and 19. So you move up one spot and get a second and a fourth. It's probably decent value. I'd be open to that. You move up a spot, probably gives you a better chance to get one of those receivers. You add a second-round pick at a fourth. I like that trade. I'd probably do that. Derek Runyon, articles are more worried about a retractable roof for the new stadium. What about a parking lot? Look, I'm no stadium building expert, surrounding area guy, but yeah, parking's not ideal already at Soldier Field. So yeah, figuring out parking would obviously be something that is vital if they do build on the lakefront. Michael Netco, who do you think our first free agent signing will be? Well, it's funny. Last year, the Bears kicked off free agency by signing T.J. Edwards. I'll make an early prediction. Geno Stone. He signs like a 2-year, $15 million contract. How about that? William Brock, thoughts on Brendan Rice? We already hit this. I'd be open to it, William. We got one more here. Brendan Henderson, are you painting your nails if we draft Caleb? Probably not, but if people want to, that's fine. You do you. Could be a fun super chat idea during the season. The fingernail thing is not a big deal, guys. He paints his fingernails, something he did with his mom as a kid. Who cares? Like, it's not that deep. Like, if he struggles, it's not going to be because he's got nail polish on his fingernails every once in a while. Now, if you want to criticize the F Utah message, that's fine. Like I can understand that to an extent, but I don't think this is like something we have to like get bent out of shape over. All right, last one since we got a super chat. The Pikey Dyke, how much cap salary did the Bears have last year? It's a good question. They had a lot last year too. I think it was a little more. Because remember, once they paid Montez Sweat after they traded for him, that obviously takes out a good chunk. So I'd have to go look, but it was a good amount. Appreciate all the questions. We'll get you on a future mailbag as well. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications if you want more Bears content. If you want to find me on social media, it's at HGramNFL on Twitter and Instagram. Bear down. We'll see you guys on our next mailbag video here on the channel.
Whew,
that was
a close one.
Little sloppy chugs.
Yeah. Well, they look so much alike. I was like.
By the way, you definitely got me at first.
Oh, I know. I know.
I picked up on it and was going to try to power through, but you cracking up just, yeah. Tough
I know. We didn't get to this one. This one came in right as you were finishing, but I
Bayless
thought this was a
Jones?
good question as well.
Maybe. I think Bayless Jones, I don't think he's a guy you cut like before free agency in the draft because like you don't have that many receivers on your roster. Like Moody's a free agent, St. Brown's a free agent. So like I think he probably gets to training camp, but he'll have to earn a spot on the 53. Like he's not a guy that's like, oh, he's definitely on the roster next year. Like he will be on the bubble for sure. And depending on what they do in free agency in the draft, that could even change. It could be kind of obvious that they are moving on. But right now, there's just not enough bodies to be like.
Also, Alan Mack really wants Jaden Hicks, the Washington State safety.
Okay.
And he says Jackson Powers Johnson
and Troy Fontenot. Yeah, Fontenot, he played tackle at Washington. A lot of people think he'll play guard in the NFL.
Alan, a part of me is feeling like you're from the West Coast.
No, he's from Dublin, Ireland. We've talked before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's
that makes sense. Pac-12 after dark guy. All these guys in the Pac-12.
Pac-12 in the morning.
Pac-12 in the morning guy.
Man, if you could get Jackson Powers Johnson, that'd be fantastic. Fontenot to be like he'd be an interesting guy to like just be like your sixth offensive lineman next year, and then in 25 he starts somewhere. TBD on position, maybe it's tackle, maybe it's guard, but yeah, definitely don't mind that.
I was interested in the disparity of T's and D's in the chat.
T's and D's. You a T
during
or
that
D
last
guy?
Segment.
Do you trust polls? Let's get more answers in.
I mean,
I do.
From a GM standpoint, the Bears this offseason might be in a better situation than half the league. I mean, other
than the Claypool move, he's been pretty good for the most part.
Well, I mean, if you take out the teams that are obvious contenders, like the Chiefs and the 49ers, maybe Eagles, Cowboys,
he's positioned the Bears well.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to reset the cap last year. He traded Mack, he cut Trevathan, like Cohen. He had to just, there were some bad contracts on the books from the prior regime. Had a good offseason the year later, and then now he's in position to have another good offseason. He's hit on a lot of draft picks. Darnell Wright's been good. Tyreek Stevenson, Brisker, Gordon, they've been good. Bayless has been a miss.
Even though he paid Tremaine and T.J. Edwards was better, but
yeah, that almost evens out though, because Edwards is on one of the best contracts in the NFL. I mean, he's like $6 million a year, and he's a top 10 linebacker.
Johnny, they're saying the reason why they don't trust him is because he kept Flus.
That's fair. Listen,
but
I mean, he might.
To be fair though, he did get rid of the problem in Luke Getsy and bringing in a guy like Shane Waldron, who has had a lot of success with the Seahawks.
Look, this year will be vital for Flus, and it's possible that if Flus goes down, Poles goes down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely possible. So we'll see what happens here. See what happens. Let's see if let me make sure I haven't missed any further follow-up news on this Bears stuff. Let's see. Scrolling through my tweets. These are just recapping. The Seahawks hired somebody, pass game coordinator.
Someone tell Jonesy.
Oh, Jake Peets.
Oh, wow. I mean, you guys in the chat, y'all are. Has it been like this for a while? The Williams Fields just back and forth.
Oh, it's every show. It's every show, man.
I mean, it is just people fighting for their life in the chat right now between Williams and Fields.
Dude, by the way, I just saw a clip on my Twitter feed. Late in Tiger's round, he just completely shanked the ball into the woods. What did he end up? That is brutal. 1 over. Could have been worse. He had an up and down round. All right.
Chris Foster is not wanting. I think Chris Foster wants to keep Fields. I don't know.
You know what's interesting? And we can put a new poll up for that. I'll put a poll up here.
Choose a team. Are you Team Fields or Team Williams?
Pick a side. Justin Fields, Caleb Williams. I'll put neither. Someone else.
Same poll as always. I mean,
you know what's interesting? Bears Twitter, I would say, has shifted more in the Williams camp, but there's still a lot in the Fields camp. Bears Now YouTube is still holding firm with Fields. I'll take a guess without looking. I'm going to say it's 60 to 65% Fields after 100 votes.
All right, wait. We're getting them in.
Now, the neither category might steal a few votes. I usually don't do that, or someone else category. But I do think it'll be more Fields. Let's see here.
I don't know. It's really close.
Okay, 55-40. But it's still like, there's a notable gap there. 57-39 with 4% someone else. There's a few Drake May truthers.
So a lot of people want to trade down.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is they just want they feel like, and they're not wrong. Justin Fields hasn't had the fairest shake. They want to trade down. They want to give him they want Marvin. Give Fields Marvin, which I get.
You can't take him at 1.
No,
you just can't.
No.
I mean, he's a good enough.
There was a point where I was like, if the worst case scenario you take Marvin at 1, that's cool. But the more I've thought about it, like,
I mean,
you can't do that.
He is the best player in this draft. I'm telling you that right now.
Safest
Marvin
player,
Harrison
too.
is the best player in this draft.
I've said that. Yeah, I agree.
And you still can't take him at 1.
Yeah.
With what you'll get for trading down for somebody else to get a quarterback, you can't.
You got to trade down.
You can't.
If you're not taking a QB at 1, you got to trade down.
If Marvin Harrison turns out to be, one of the best receivers in Bears history, you still can't take him.
I mean, the only way you could take him at 1 is if a genie came to you and was like, "This will be a top 5 receiver of all time."
Yes.
Like, sure, no doubt, Hall of Famer. Like, he'll play for 12 years and he'll have 15,000 career yards. Like, that's the only way. Like,
yeah,
you can do that.
And
I love Marvin. I would take him at 3 or even 2. But like, you got to get like something for that pick if you're not taking a quarterback.
Yeah. Whoever said go with Bo Nix, I'm sorry.
Bo Nix stinks.
No way.
Not a Bo Nix.
No way. You know how crazy Bears fans would be if you traded away Justin Fields.
I'm not gonna lie.
Traded out of the number 1 pick and you took Bo Nix.
If they take Bo Nix in the top 10,
like if they traded back, then traded Fields, and then they got Bo Nix,
or like if they got him at 9, I'd maybe delete this channel. I obviously wouldn't because I like doing this too much and it's my job, but I would throw a fucking fit if they draft Bo Nix in the top 10. You have no idea how upset I would be. By the way, during that segment, did we get $50? We might have, dude. Hang on a second here.
Onion.
I don't think we quite did.
No,
not 50.
Nah. Not quite. I went back to a couple.
Not quite.
I went back to a couple super chats, but
let me make sure. I got to get those $10 ones marked down for the Mike Ditka deal.
What are we doing next? Oh, little Bears mock draft roundup. Brandon, that's what we're doing. I'm changing the subject right now. A little Bears mock draft roundup coming up.
Let's get it.
You said talk about something new. Had some great food in Vegas.
Yeah, tell them about your Vegas trip while I'm getting this.
Went to Vegas for the Super Bowl Radio Row Media Week in Las Vegas. Met up with Keith Lee. Shout out Keith if you watched the show. I don't know what fan he is. I know he's from Vegas. I don't know what football team he's a fan of. But, I mean, had some great food down in Vegas. I went to one of his spots. This place that did hand-pulled noodles.
Was that the place? That wasn't the place, was it?
No, that's where me and Chase went
Okay.
one night. It was absolutely fantastic. Had caviar for the first time.
Did you get a protein with your noodles?
Oh, yeah. It was like beef brisket and like soup noodles.
Talk to me.
It was awesome.
Talk to me.
And, dude, we went to a steakhouse. Caviar for the first time. Incredible.
Whew.
Well, I didn't pay, so I got.
How much, if you had to guess, was this meal for all of y'all? It was covered.
$1,500.
Did y'all get bevs too?
Yes.
Oh man, bottle action
we
or?
We got a bottle of wine.
Whew.
We got about 5 rounds of smoked old
This
fashions.
was you, Marsh, and Mitch, or was
No, this was when it was me, Yodes, Mitch, Chase, and Sam. So 5 of us.
So it was probably $300 a person, if you had to guess.
Probably. I mean, the caviar was $200. Then we had a Wagyu.
So they literally were like, just order whatever.
We had a tomahawk Wagyu ribeye.
Damn.
That was like $250.
That was per person? Everyone got one?
No. We just got
Or was
one.
this like family style? Like everybody
Family
just
style.
got.
We got a huge thing of lobster mac and cheese.
Dude, I'm jealous. I should have gone.
Yeah, it was.
Damn it.
Dude,
I
it was
should have
incredible.
gone. Here, let's flash the super chat menu, then we'll get into this segment. Yeah, Jeremy had a good time. I'm going to the combine though. I'm excited for that. Got to go to Elmo's. That's like the big combine place apparently in Indy. That's like where you go. So, got to get that figured out.
Shane said Harrison versus Jeremy mile time. Let's race.
Oh,
I don't think you want that.
Here, while I'm telling them about the well, it's 1 point. Let's change this. 1.5 minute of workout for Jeremy and I. I'm gonna read only this piece. Jeremy's gonna count how many super chats we got here on
I can
just
count
viewer
right now. Let's
activity.
see.
Ooh, another one
We
just
got
came in.
1, 2.
So every individual super chat, regardless how much it is, Jeremy and I each have to, that's 90 seconds of a workout. So like if we got 10 super chats for more than that, that'd be 15 minutes of a workout for each of us. $10 gets you a Mike Ditka jersey raffle tickets. If you send 30 or more total on the show, you get 3 tickets. You cap out at 3 per show. We're going to draw at the end of the month or once we reach 89,000 subscribers. $20 shots, taking a couple of those. $50 to get on the helmet for a discount. $100 gets you 2 stickers plus on the boom board, and most booms this month gets our best giveaway yet.
35 so far.
35 times 1.5.
45.
45?
Oh wait, no. It would be 52, I think.
But 35 super chats.
So 35 super chats.
52 and a half minutes. All right.
Oh, look at that math.
That's doable.
The math is math.
That's doable.
We will get to the super chat and then we'll get into the next.
Did you count this
program.
one that just came in? Is that number 35?
That is number 35.
All right.
Oh, actually, we had another one that came in that I didn't even look at. It was from Nathan. Sorry, I didn't even see it there.
Shout out Nathan.
Comparing the Chargers' 2004 QB situation with Breeze with our current QB situation, as in put yourself as a Chargers fan in 2004.
I mean, it's interesting. I don't think the parallels are the same. Let me go back. I want to look at what Breeze's numbers were, and I know it's not just about numbers, certainly. Drew Brees, 2004 offseason. Yeah, because they drafted Phillip Rivers. I mean, Brees had a good year that year, 27 touchdowns, 7 picks, 3,100 yards, which at the time was pretty good.
But I don't even think you can compare this because Brees had a shoulder injury that made things a lot more difficult.
Yeah, there was real questions about his future physically. Also, I like Justin, but Brees was more proven at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the same. But I get what you're saying though, Nathan. Like I do. I definitely do get it. I also don't think the Chargers have like major regrets there. I mean, Phillip Rivers ended up having a hell of a run. Now, if Brees had a better career certainly, but
yeah,
there were real. I mean, Miami, they wanted Brees, but they didn't pass on his medical. They were like his shoulders effed. So like. It was a real concern for a lot of teams.
Which now I think Brees' shoulder. I think it's like
oh my god.
I don't know if he can pick up a box.
Dude, he can't throw a football. He like came out and said, I think he said like last year, like someone asked him like, any chance you'd come back? He's like, dude, I can't throw a football.
Like I think his arm is like cooked. Like,
yeah, but you could tell by the end of his career, like it was shot, but like he now like physically can't throw the ball. It's kind of sad. Paul Dow, he gets a ticket. Shout out Paul Dow.
If they trade Justin Fields and the number 1 pick and draft Knicks, I will leave work and walk into rush hour traffic here in Miami. I'm with Rolly on May over Caleb. I have a feeling
that I have.
Maybe wrong, but hashtag May over Caleb.
I like May. I just feel like this is a gut feeling, just like what you're saying, Paul. I feel like something's missing when I watch May, which feels weird because like you watch him, like he's 6'4", he can make all the throws, but like, does he have that like killer instinct? I don't know. Now, like, I'm not gonna blame the kid. He seems more mild-mannered. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. I feel like if Caleb hits Jeremy, like he's like got one of these like mindsets to like just like take a franchise by the balls and carry it. Like, now, on the flip side, could it be more disaster potential? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do like May a lot, though, man. Like, he was built in a QB factory. Like, if you could build a quarterback physically, like, he's in the top 1% of that. But I don't know.
And part of me likes Daniels.
I like Daniels, too. I wish Daniels had a better fastball. Like, I wish he could put more zip on those intermediate throws. But, yeah, it's tough, man. It is tough. We caught up here?
No, we have a couple more.
Couple more coming in.
Let's see.
You losing there?
Yeah, I'm losing them.
Uh-oh.
Aaron Wolf said, will we ever have a QB better than Green Bay?
I hope so. And look, doesn't that need to be part of the Justin debate? Like, I don't think there's no chance Justin could be better than Jordan Love, but like, if you're being objective, right now, Jordan Love is better. Like, it's not me. I like Justin a lot. I don't think the Bears have done fair by him, but like, based on how like this last year went, Jordan Love is better than Justin at this exact moment. Now, they're much better coached up there.
Yeah.
But those LaFleur ain't going anywhere, man. It's not like all of a sudden he's going to be poorly coached.
Yeah. I'm going to try to figure this out. The Supers aren't pulling right now.
All right, I can read Nathan here. Yeah. 04 offseason as in after the 03 season, and you don't know anything. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's just so hard to even put yourself in that headspace, Nathan. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like, you know, drafting Rivers, I think the way it played out was fine. That would be kind of the way I would answer it. Like, it's not, you know.
If you just want to read these couple, I'm going to try to fix this real quick.
Yeah, Jamie Montague, how can people watch Pat Mahomes last Sunday and want to keep Justin Fields? Yeah, I mean, look, like, I do think it's telling that the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, not solely because of Mahomes. Their defense is awesome. They have Andy Reid. I get all that. But the Niners objectively have a better team than the Chiefs right now, at least for this season they did. They won because their defense kept them in it, and when it counted most, their quarterback made more plays. So the point is that the great ones can overcome things around them. The Chiefs led the NFL in drops this year, and they just won the Super Bowl. Think about that. They led the league in drops and just won the Super Bowl. So, you know, I'm not saying Caleb's going to be Mahomes. In fact, I don't think that's going to be the case. But if you think him or May or whoever has a chance to be one of these top 5, top 6 quarterbacks in the NFL, you got to take him, man. Unless Ryan Poles still thinks Justin Fields can be that guy, then sure, trade the pick. But I don't think we've seen indication from Poles that he thinks Fields can be that good. I think he likes Justin. I think he thinks he can be a good quarterback. But does he think he can carry a team? I don't know. Get to another one here. All chilled says Caleb is better than Jordan Love right now. We don't know that for sure. I think his talent coming out of college is definitely better, but we haven't seen him play in the NFL. Appreciate the super chat, though. Paul Dow, what's missing is he's not as electric as Caleb, and I lost. Little respect for Harbaugh because of the Trustman hire. What an actual duck, or what the actual F is that, guys? Please help make sense of that for me. I mean, I poked fun of it. At the end of the day, he's a senior analyst, so I don't think it matters that much. But that was bizarre, no doubt. But yeah, I hear you, Caleb, or Paul Dow on Caleb. And then Nathan with another one here. He says, Rivers never won a Super Bowl. Breeze, Manning, Big Ben all did. Yeah, that's the ultimate goal. He won a Super Bowl. I get it. If Breeze didn't have major shoulder concerns, they would have kept him. I think they knew they had shoulder concerns at that point. I'd have to go back and remember the timeline of all that, but sorry about the graphical. Yeah, our software just bugged out for a second, so hopefully future super chats will get on screen, but we'll answer them all no matter what. All right, answer this question: where will the Bears play long term? And then we still got 2 segments to go here, so we'll roll through those. What do you guys think? And this is stadium, like they going to be in Chicago, Arlington Heights? There's a report today that Arlington Heights is not budging on their tax assessment. So the Bears might pivot. They might stay in Chicago. They're going to build a new stadium, but they might stay in Chicago. Oh, they come in now? We're back? How about NCAA coming out this summer? The most back we've ever been. All chilled. Caleb is better. Yeah, we'll just get these on screen because that's our promise to you. What's missing? He's not on his electric. We answered that. Thank you, Paul. Nathan, Rivers, and everyone. Ooh, I got the hiccups now. Appreciate it, Nathan. Excuse me. Vibin, there's only one Mahomes. We need to stop. I have literally come on here every day and said he's not going to be Mahomes, and that shouldn't be the expectation. Their play styles as prospects are similar. That's all. Like, even when Daniel Jeremiah says he's the closest thing we've seen to Mahomes, I think he's saying as a prospect. And yeah, you compare them as prospects, there's a lot of similarities. But that's a big leap to think he's going to make the NFL progression Patrick Mahomes is.
Also, at the same time, if we're talking about them as prospects, Mahomes was
the
third quarterback taken in that draft. Nobody knew he would be that good.
Now, exactly. Now, I will say Mahomes panning out might be the reason why people are this high on Caleb.
But also,
that type of quarterback.
I think Mahomes panning out has a lot to do with the situation he was in, being able to be groomed by Andy Reid, being able to have Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill in the league, even though now he doesn't have those weapons, but now he's developed into a much better passer.
You're putting a lot of trust in Shane Waldron and this offensive staff, regardless of who the quarterback is. You got to coach this guy up right, whoever it ends up being. So it all works together. All right, let's get to our next segment, Bears Mock Draft Roundup. If you're just joining us, Cody Whitehair and Eddie Jackson have been cut. That clears about $21.5 million in cap space, but we're hitting some other news and rumors. Let's talk a little draft here. I'm Harrison Graham. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. On today's show, I got a Bears mock draft roundup from ESPN, Pro Football Focus, The Athletic, Bleacher Report, and Fox Sports. I'm also going to grade each mock draft as we'll react to each one here on today's show. So stick with us here as all these different outlets put out mocks that we're going to react to. All right, number one, ESPN put out a new mock recently. Field Yates put out his first mock of the year. So let's react to that. Most of these are just first-round mocks. One of them has a 3-round mock, which means the Bears will have another pick since they do have a 3rd-round selection. Here's what Field Yates has. He's got the Bears taking Caleb Williams, number 1 overall. No shocker there. And then Leatu Latu, the edge out of UCLA, with the number 9 overall pick. I think that's a tick early for me for Latu. The way this played out for Field, the top 3 receivers were all gone, MHJ, Adunze, and Neighbors. Brock Bowers is there, though. I would just take Brock Bowers. Now, Field can do whatever he wants. It's his mock. Bears certainly need more edge. They need another edge rusher, but if multiple edges are still available, Latu, Turner, and Jared Verse, I think they're all pretty close. Like, I'd rather just trade down. Or in this case, I would have just drafted Brock Bowers. So when you factor that in, I would probably go B- grade here for this mock draft because I think it's a little early for Latu. Do like him. Very productive player. There are medical questions there. He was medically retired at one point in his collegiate career. Got cleared and came back to football and had 2 really good seasons at UCLA the past 2 years, but that's something that's going to be a big talking point at the NFL Combine. Subscribe and join the Noti Gang here at Chicago Bears Now. 3 simple steps to do so. Number 1, hit that subscribe button. You got to be subscribed to be in the Noti Gang. Number 2, you click the notification bell. And then when you click that bell again, I think you have to click it a second time. You have to select the all option. The default right there, which you can see, is personalize. Select all, because if you don't have all, you either A, may not get a notification when we publish a video or go live, or B, you might get it at like a random time, like a day later or 4 hours later. You don't want that. When breaking news happens, when rumors are hot on the streets, you want to know exactly when we publish a video, right? Follow those steps, subscribe, click the bell, select the all option, join the Noti Gang here at Chicago Bears Now. All right, Pro Football Focus, Trevor Sakima put out a recent mock draft, and he's got the Chicago Bears selecting really a dream for me. Caleb Williams, number 1. Malik Neighbors, the LSU wide receiver, at number 9 overall. I think Neighbors and Odunze are, kind of interchangeable. They're different type of players, but if either is available at 9, I think it's an absolute home run. I like Neighbors a little bit more, so I absolutely love this mock draft. I mean, his production at LSU, especially this past year, is just ridiculous. And people have compared him to Odell Beckham, and I think, normally I'd be like, it's a lazy take. LSU guy, explosive. Kind of looks like a man when you watch him play. I mean, the guy just separates. He's a great route runner. He's awesome after the catch. Gives you explosive plays early and often when you watch these games. I got to go A+ here. I mean, this is, if you get out of the first round of this draft with Caleb and Neighbors, assuming you are taking a quarterback number 1 overall, you can't do much better. I mean, sure, you could try to trade up, get Marvin Harrison. If you're team Justin Fields, you're obviously not going to give it an A+, but if you do decide to move on from Fields and you get a QB at 1 and Neighbors at 9, that's pretty tough to beat if you ask me. Now, which receiver would you rather have in this draft? If it's Rome Odunze, type RO. If it's Malik Neighbors, type MN. Let me know in the comment section down below which you would rather select. RO for Odunze, MN for Malik Neighbors, and get your votes in down in the comment section down below on which receiver you would rather have. Keep it rolling here. The athletic Nick Baumgardner, he put a 3-round mock draft out. Bears don't have a 2nd-round pick, but they do have a 3rd-round selection. So here's what he has Chicago doing here. He goes Caleb Williams with the 1st pick, Rome Odunze with the 2nd pick, Javon Bullard with the 3rd pick. And I love this one as well. Again, Odunze, Neighbors, whatever. I like Neighbors a little bit more, but as long as one of those guys is available, I'd be pretty damn happy. Obviously, consistent theme at number 1 with Caleb Williams. You look at Odunze's past couple of seasons here, incredibly productive, 20 touchdowns, 2,800 yards almost. I love that even though the catches went up, the yards per catch also went up this year for Odunze. I mean, that's impressive. For almost 100 catches, averaging 18.5 yards per catch, that is really good. People have compared him to just a bigger DJ Moore. Like, he plays through contact. He's great after the catch. A lot of yak there. I like that quite a bit. Javon Bullard, who we've taken in some mock drafts, he could be your Eddie Jackson replacement. Of course, Bojack got cut on Thursday, saving the Bears over $12.5 million on their cap hit this year. So this is a pretty good mock, man. I'd go A. You're filling 3 positions of need. You're getting good value in all 3 positions here as well. So I like this one quite a bit. If it was Neighbors at 9, maybe I'd bump it up to A+, but you get Bullard in the 3rd round to add to Odunze and Williams. I think that's pretty darn good. All right, Game Time, sponsoring today's show. We appreciate Game Time for sponsoring today's video. Football may be over, but there's still plenty of sporting events to attend. You can go to Bulls games. You got the White Sox and Cubs just around the corner as well, with pitchers and catchers reporting. Should be a fun baseball season. If you want to go check out some games, go check out the best prices available with Game Time. Best seats for the lowest price guaranteed, and prices drop as the event gets closer. So my advice to you is wait till the day before, wait till the morning of, check out how prices collapse on Game Time, and you can really take advantage. And if you see a better price in the same section on a different ticketing app, take a picture, send it to Game Time. They'll give you 110% credit. So say they're charging $100 for a ticket, different ones offering you 110. You're going to end up getting it for 90, I should say. You're going to end up getting it for less than $90. So they want you to have the best and stress-free experience possible when purchasing your tickets and going to your events, comedy shows, theater, sporting events. Doesn't matter. Get your tickets today. Bulls games after the All-Star break coming up. And guess what? New customer, download the Game Time app. Use promo code BearsChat for $20 off. Trust me, it's the best deal out there when it comes to purchasing tickets. Check out the comments in the description for the link to get you to the App Store and download the Game Time app today. It wasn't a specific writer or analyst, whatever. It was kind of just their staff. So Bleacher Report released their latest mock draft as well. And this was an interesting one, to say the least. They got a trade. Bears trading down with Washington. Washington goes up to get Caleb Williams. There's obviously been some buzz there with Kingsbury on that staff. Drake May at 2, Rome Odunze at 9. I'll explain why in a minute I don't love, and the reason is pretty simple. It's based on what they wrote in the article, which I think is ridiculous. This is the explanation of Washington trading up. The move up one spot, or to move up one spot and become the first team ever to trade for number one after owning the second overall selection, the Commanders would most likely have to surrender their second round pick, if not more. Most likely their second round pick, if not more. Yeah, it would cost more. Like, the Bears, I don't think, are moving down for 1 second round pick, especially if the chatter is true that they really like Caleb Williams. Like, the reports out there from Rappaport and others that it would take a historic offer for the Bears to move on from one. There's been chatter that the Commanders would have to give up a second and next year's one. Yeah, that'd be pretty historic to move up one spot. I don't think 1 second round pick is getting you there unless you get to draft day and it is just so obvious that the Bears just like Drake May more, then maybe it comes down to this, but I don't think that's the case. And for that reason, I got to give it a C, not because they're passing on Caleb Williams in this mock, but because I don't think the trade value is good enough. Like, again, if you're going to move off that pick, you just got to get more. Like, 1 second round pick, that's not going to cut it for me. So, C on that Bleacher Report mock draft. They can do a lot better. Who's the better QB prospect? You think it's Caleb Williams or Drake May? Type CW for Williams, DM for May. I like Williams better. I do like May a lot. He's my QB2 in this draft with Jaden Daniels as QB3. Get your thoughts on that in the comments and tell me why. Why do you like Caleb better? Why do you like Drake better? Better. DM for May, CW for Williams. Get your votes in. Fox Sports, Joel Collette, their top college football analyst. He also does some draft coverage as well. He released his first, I think, mock draft of the season. And it's a familiar one. Same as PFF's here. It's Caleb Williams and our good pal Malik Neighbors. And that's like my top dream right now. If you get Odunze, like, I'm not going to, it's not like a way big drop off. I think it's pretty 2A, 2B situation there. But I do like Neighbors a bit more. If you get Caleb and Neighbors, I mean, that is fun to pair with DJ and Cole Kmet and, a young offensive line, Shane Waldron. Like, a consistent theme here, except for that second to last mock from Bleacher Report is, most mock drafts have the Bears taking Caleb overall. And again, I got to give this an A+ because that's what I gave the other mock draft that went Caleb and Malik Neighbors 1 and 9. Keeping it consistent there. Definitely like that pairing, man. I think you could build something special there. You already got DJ in place. Like I mentioned, safety valve and Cole Kmet. So if you could go Caleb Neighbors 1 and 9, I certainly wouldn't complain. All right, there's our Bears mock draft roundup, reacting to the latest NFL mock drafts and who they have the Bears selecting. Going to be a fun draft season as the Bears do have 2 top 10 selections, so be sure to subscribe. And again, join the Nota Gang, turn on those notifications, and select all once you do so. That way you never miss a video here on Chicago Bears Now. Nathan Rosado. You're not connecting the dots. Compare current QB class with 04. Bears having first overall pick with talented player and bad situation with poor numbers. Oh, you didn't give me the full picture, Nathan. I'd have to go back. 2004 QB draft class. That's Eli. That's Big Ben, Eli, and Rivers. So what are you saying, Nathan? Like, are you saying that Justin Fields is going to become Drew Brees if they trade him? Are you saying
he's basically saying Rivers, like, I don't know. He's saying
Are you saying Rivers, Caleb Williams is going to be Rivers, and you're going to miss out on the guys who actually won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think he's saying, like,
take Drake and stay to Caleb? Is that what you're saying? I mean,
all of this stuff, Nathan, is hindsight 2020. Like, of course, if the Chargers knew that Brees could win them a Super Bowl over Rivers,
they would have just kept him.
They kept him. But there's no way to know that.
It's also here. I'll add another parallel, and now some people will say, "Well, Caleb may pull an Eli Manning." They wanted Eli, and he refused to go there. So, you've got that factor. Now, people might snap back, well, Caleb could refuse to go to Chicago. Well, there's no indication that's going to be the case at this point in time. But
I don't know. There was that one fake article that happened a month ago.
Yeah, don't forget. Vibing with the dog. They are not similar. He's closer to Murray and Fields again. We have to stop. What are you saying? Oh,
He's saying
no,
he's not
Mahomes
similar to
and their style of plays are. That doesn't mean he's gonna be Mahomes. There are a lot of similarities to the style of play.
It means he'll be better.
I have never said that. I will never say that.
Even if he is better than Mahomes,
There's nothing wrong with saying a player stylistically plays like that player. Now, I do hate the lazy, he's the next Mahomes. He is not the next Mahomes.
He's the first Caleb Williams.
That is true. Aaron Wolf, JF1 has progression issues. At times, it's been a problem, for sure. Drake May, Caleb Williams fit this system better. Probably true. If you keep Fields, Waldron's going to have to incorporate some QB run, which he's worked with a lot of different quarterbacks. I would think he could do that. But, yeah, keep that in mind.
Also, Caleb Williams, great passer of the football as well. It's not like...
Here's a big difference between Caleb and Fields, by the way. His release is much faster.
Also...
And 0.2 of a second in a throwing release in the NFL is an eternity.
And something that I've noticed, and the reason why people compare him to Mahomes in their play styles, not that they're the same player, like Harrison said multiple times. The reason why they compare them is their ability to keep the play alive and still throw the ball down the field. Yeah. Something that a lot of quarterbacks have trouble with. Fields, a lot of the times, which we praise him for his ability to make plays with his legs. Something that Mahomes has done is, yes, he's able to make those plays, but more often than not, he's able to, bide enough time to throw the ball downfield, which we've seen plenty of with Caleb Williams at USC, where he's able to not only evade the rush and not run the ball down the field and keep his eyes down the field instead and throw the deep ball.
Now, I will say, I thought that was an area Justin improved in that area this year. I do want to defend him there. 2022, he did not do that a lot. This year, that is an area he improved. Now, does he do it all the time? No, but I do think he improved in that area. But can Justin improve a lot still in structure? That's the question. If Ryan Poles is unsure, then he's probably going to draft a quarterback. And Tito, I already see your super chat. We're getting to those at the end. Have you moved those over from Fanatics, by the way?
Yes, I have.
Vibin says Drake May is a better Waldron fit, and word on the street is Waldron prefers May between the two. Just saying. What's word on the street? Because I got to be honest, I have not seen a single person say that. Doesn't mean it's not. I mean, just what's the street? Is that your sources?
Hey, word on the street, man.
Word on the street, man. He might. I'm not ruling out the possibility that they could like May better. I'm just saying all the smoke's been around Caleb. It is smokescreen season, but
trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. I'm not doubting Vibin. I just want to know what the street is.
We're going to do that at the very end. I do have them all.
Yeah. One more segment to go. We got like 9 or 10 mocks to react to. And to be honest, I wanted to get more, but this breaking news came in. So we'll probably do more on a future live show, but we will react to some at the end of the show. So we'll get this last segment, and then we'll do those mocks, and we'll get out of here.
Yep. Oh, actually, I do have to move over one more thing for this sponsor.
Uh-oh. Is it the video?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Presented by two, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. While Jeremy's doing that, if you're just joining us, we can rehash the news a little bit here. Cody Whitehair and Eddie Jackson have been released by the Chicago Bears. It clears over $21 million in cap space. This was expected. Kind of interesting that it came all at once and that they had tribute videos ready. So when Eddie Jackson last week tweeted out new beginnings, I think he was told then that he's getting cut. And they were going to wait until after the Super Bowl to do it. So that day has come today. And now we wait and see what the Bears do with all this cap space. Obviously, they need a safety now. That becomes a need for this football team. But, yeah, it's bittersweet. You know, two good players for this franchise, but players on the decline, and we're making too much money. That's how this business goes sometimes, man. That's how this business goes. All right, last segment here. Then we're going to react to your mock drafts, and we'll get out of here. Aaron Wolf, we'll get to that super chat after this segment, and then we'll get to those mock drafts. All right, here we go. Let's get into our final segment, which I don't even know what it is. I totally forgot. Oh, we're going to make the case for Justin Fields coming up right now. On today's episode of Chicago Bears Now, we are going to make the case to keep Justin Fields. A lot of Caleb talk recently, myself included. Justin Fields on this team. He could still be here. We're going to get to that. My name is Harrison Graham. Today's show is sponsored by 8 Sleep. Are you struggling to get sleep at night? Do you want to wake up with more energy? 8 Sleep's going to help you do that. We'll tell you how later on in the show. Go to 8sleep.com/chatsports. That's going to get you $200 off their best item, which again, we will tell you about. All right, we're going to make the case for Justin Fields on today's show and why he is still a viable option for the Chicago Bears, which I feel like I've mentioned, but maybe I haven't done as good of a job recently of just recognizing that is still an option. I've said it, but I haven't dedicated a ton of airtime to it because there's been so much talk around Caleb Williams and the number 1 pick. So I want to make this show Justin Fields-centric and why there are still avenues of keeping him and how they could make sense. All right, if you want to keep Justin Fields in Chicago, smash that like button. I know a lot of you guys do. If you want to keep him here, hit the like button. If you don't, tell me why you don't down in the comment section. All right, so we make the case here. Number 1, year-by-year improvement, which is absolutely valid. I think he has gotten better every single year in the NFL, as he has played 3 seasons under 2 different coordinators, mind you. So he's had to kind of adapt and learn different systems on the fly. His first year, the completion percentage was sub 59%, worse than 1-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. That improved in year 2. Took another step forward in year 3. You wish it was a little bit more. We'll explain on that in a second. You look at the rushing numbers. I know they went down this year, but he also ran less, played in less games this year because he did have that wrist injury. He's still, to me, a top-tier rusher in the NFL at the quarterback position. In fact, if you ask me right now to pick one quarterback to be the best runner in the NFL, I would take Justin Fields. Now, 2023 is a little tough to evaluate because I do think he improved as a passer, but it was still inconsistent, like week to week. Like that week 4, week 5 stretch was awesome against Denver and Minnesota, or against Denver and Washington. And then that Minnesota game in week 6, it wasn't good. Then he got hurt in that game. And then the final 7 games, there was some good, there were some not so good. Like the Cleveland game was pretty ugly. The Minnesota game wasn't great, although he did make the throw late. It's kind of been this roller coaster. I think it was less of a roller coaster this year. I do think it was better, but we didn't see that massive year 3 leap that we saw out of Jalen Hurts, that we saw out of Josh Allen. Now, let's be clear. Those guys, better offensive minds, better pieces around them. That is completely valid. Luke Getsy did not embrace who Justin Fields is as a quarterback, so that's completely fair, and I agree with it. Again, I think he's a top-tier runner. You don't have to worry about that, at least in the near term. I think for 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 years, you can get really good running production out of him. The question is, and why it's such a big debate on what they're going to do is, can he take a notable step forward as a passer? Improvements there? Yes. Is it enough improvement? Maybe, maybe not. That's the question, but I do want to be positive here. I do want to make the case, and there's no disputing that he has improved every single year. All right, number 2. You do have 2 years of team control. Obviously, resetting with a rookie quarterback gives you more time with a cheaper quarterback, but it's not like you have to break the bank for the next 2 years. You've got him for like $6 million this year, and then the 5th-year option would be like $20-25 million bucks. So you'd have him for 2 years of team control and no more than $30 million total bucks. That for a starting quarterback, that's pretty cheap. Like an average of $15 million per year there, roughly $12 to $15 million. You could also do the Jordan Love deal. Like maybe you don't do the 5th-year option and you give him a 1-year extension for 2025. That's a little bit cheaper than the 5th-year option, but you give him incentives to reach it. Like that's what the Packers did last year. They gave him a 5th-year they declined the 5th-year option. They gave him a 1-year extension for 2024 that only had $13.5 million guaranteed. So they kind of hedged a little bit like, hey, Jordan, we like you, but since you haven't played yet, we're going to decline your 5th year. But here's some money. Take it or leave it. He took it. Maybe you could do that with Justin. I'm not sure if he would take it or not, but maybe he would. You could do a similar structure. And if he has a big 2023, then you give him like the bigger extension in 24, which is what Jordan Love is likely going to get this offseason. Would you give Justin Fields the 5th-year option. Type Y for yes, type in for no. If you're keeping him this year, I'd be fine giving it to him. Now, ideally, you could convince him to do a Jordan Love type of deal, but if you do keep him, I'd be open to the 5th-year option. I'm definitely not closed off on that. So let me know what you guys think, Y for yes, or give me an in for no. Before we get to more reasons for keeping Justin Fields, because we are making the case for him today. Speaking of a case, you know what the best case out there? How about this from 8 Sleep? Start sleeping better, because today's show is brought to you by 8 Sleep, the high-tech solution to your age-old sleeping issues. Their Pod 3 cover, aka case like I mentioned, will slip right over your mattress, bringing heating and cooling technology that keeps you comfortable and sleeping deeper for a better, more restful night. I picked up my Pod 3 cover from 8 Sleep a few months back, and I've never slept better. Sleep science shows that in order to sleep our best, our body temperature needs to drop in the early and middle part of sleep and rise in the morning. The pod cover will improve your sleep by automatically adjusting your bed's temperature based on your individual needs. The cover can be added to any bed like a fitted sheet and allows you and your partner to cool or warm your side of the bed as low as 55 degrees and up to 110 degrees. Not only does it keep you at the perfect temperature all night, the pod also tracks your sleep and health metrics. On average, users see their sleep quality improve by up to 32% after just 1 month on the pod. So sleep better, start the new year right with 8 Sleep's Pod 3. Go to 8sleep.com/chatsports. That's 8sleep.com/chatsports to get $200 off. You see how it syncs with your phone and has all that data there as well. 8sleep.com/chatsports, $200 off. Link in the comments and in the description. I love the Pod 3 from 8 Sleep. And it's great if you have a partner too, because again, each side of the bed can have a different temperature control. All right, number 3 as we make the case for Justin, and I think a significant one. He is beloved by his teammates. And you can be the best quarterback, you can have it all. If your teammates don't like you, there's a ceiling on what you can do as a football team. It's not like other positions. Like receivers, corners, sometimes not everybody's going to like you. But if you're shutting down the other receiver, or if you're making plays at receiver, you'll live with that. Quarterback, though, if you're not liked in the building, it almost doesn't matter how good you are. I mean, DJ Moore, over and over again. I want Justin as my quarterback. He's our quarterback. Jaquan Brisker, we all want Justin. He's tweeting, retweeting people who are supporting Justin all the time. These are just a couple of examples. I mean, I have not seen a single, crack in the wall of, he's not a great leader. He's not a good team. The work ethic, the leadership, that all is not a question with Justin. DeMarcus Walker tweeting earlier in the playoffs when he's watching the Ravens. Just imagine when Justin Fields gets developed like Lamar Jackson. They love this guy. They believe in this guy. Even more important, it's not just they like him. They believe in him. And that's huge. So, again, if they do move on from him, whoever takes his place, he's going to have to win over the locker room, and that may not be the easiest task. Now, again, Ryan Poles has to do what he thinks is best for the future of this franchise, but the quarterback you currently have, he can handle being the QB in this city. He is a great teammate and a great leader. His teammates and coaches do really like him a lot, so that part of it is there. If you think he can improve a lot still as a passer especially, then there are a lot of reasons to keep this quarterback in place. Stay locked in like Justin Fields does. You see him in the gym already. Hit that subscribe button, wall-to-wall coverage throughout the offseason and leading up to next season as well. Subscribe today. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. Don't miss out as we got coverage throughout the offseason. Number 4, the unknown of the draft, which is a completely true thing. There is no guarantees. Now, some draft analysts and some scouts think Caleb Williams, who's my top QB prospect, is in the Andrew Luck, the Peyton Manning category of prospect. Now, I don't know if I'd go as far as Peyton Manning, but he is a very strong prospect. But there's been very strong prospects flop before. Now, don't get in the chat and say Trubisky to me. Caleb Williams is a much stronger prospect than Trubisky. But the point is even when guys get labeled as can't-miss prospects, there's no guarantee. There is no guarantee. So, there is a legitimate thought and idea to have of sometimes it's better to go with what you know. And even though Justin Fields has flaws, if you use him to his strengths, you can win with him. Can you win it all with him? I think that's the question you got to ask yourself. And if the answer is a firm no, then it's tough to justify keeping him. But if you think he's still on the upward trajectory and you can, ultimately take this thing all the way with Justin, then maybe you just stick with what you got and you don't risk the unknowns of the NFL draft. And that's what gets me to this last point, too. Like, you should have been a playoff team with him this year. You blew 3 games, like, in historic fashion. I mean, you should have been a 10-7 team despite starting 0-4. I mean, look at these collapses. These are all-time bad, dude. Up 28-7 against the Broncos with just over a quarter left. Lost. Up 26-14 with just over 4 minutes left against the Lions. Lost. Up 10 points in the fourth quarter against the Browns. Lost. The Week 4 and 11 losses, your win percentage, according to ESPN's FPI at points in that game, were over 99%, and you lost. Browns game, over 92% at one point, and you lost. That's hard to do, man, and you lost all 3 of them. Now, is Justin Fields blameless in those losses? No. Is the majority of blame on him? I don't think so. Now, I think the Cleveland game, you could say the offense clearly needed to do more. I mean, the defense gave you 14 to 17 points. Now, Robert Tonyan drops what should have been a 70-yard touchdown in that game. If he catches that early on, did the Bears just run away with that one? That's not on Justin Fields. Defense collapses against Denver and Detroit. That's definitely not on Justin Fields. Is he blameless? No. But those 3 losses were catastrophic and, quite frankly, on the head coach, if we're going to put it bluntly. Who do you want as the Bears 2024 quarterback? You tell me down in the comment section below. And one thing I didn't even mention here on this segment, because I wanted to keep it just about the quarterback, is not even factoring in what you could get in a trade down, which is a lot of assets. So that would be another reason. But I wanted to keep it just about who Justin is as a player and a person and a teammate and all that stuff. So you let me know who you want the Bears quarterback to be. The bottom line is this. Justin Fields is a viable quarterback. I have said that. He is a starter in this league. We just didn't know the Bears would get the number 1 pick in a great QB draft. If the Bears were picking 4, I don't think we're talking about this. I really don't. Now, would there be some mock drafts out there of trade up to 1, trade 4 and 9 to get up to 1 for Caleb? Like, of course that would be out there. But I don't think the storylines would be dominated by Caleb Williams, maybe Drake May, Caleb Williams. You got to move on from Justin Fields. I think it's gotten that way because this is unique. You can reset the QB clock. And there's a couple quarterbacks in this draft that people feel are very, very special. So it's not really about Justin, the outside noise. I do want to make that clear. Like, Justin is viable. I think he'll start somewhere next year. It might even still be here in Chicago. And like I said in this video, 5 or 6 bullet points, there are legitimate reasons to think that he could be the quarterback for this team, and you could feel good about that. All right, subscribe to the channel. The case for Justin Fields is closed on this episode. We'll see how the Bears view it. We don't know what Ryan Poles is thinking. If you want more Bears content, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. More QB talk, news, rumors, draft, free agency coverage. We got it all coming up throughout the offseason. All right, what are people saying? What are the people saying?
I don't know. I think you might have convinced a couple people.
And look, that video isn't like me putting my flag in the ground of keep Justin. Other videos aren't me putting my flag around. Draft Caleb. I've admitted on the show, I'm leaning in the draft Caleb camp. But that doesn't mean the guy you currently have isn't capable and you couldn't just roll with him. Again, if you're picking 4th in the draft, 7th in the draft, you're not talking about it, man. You're talking about, okay, how can we get Justin Fields to take another step forward? What can we do with the 4th pick to help that? Can we get Marvin Harrison?
Yeah,
what are we doing at 9?
I mean, if that's the case, people are arguing in the chat Roma Dunze over Malik Neighbors and how you're dumb for having 1 take.
Well,
why would you take Rome? Are you dumb? Malik is way better.
well, I like Neighbors more, but it's close.
Why would you take Neighbors? Rome is way better.
I like them both, man.
Before we head out, Harrison did promise to go through some fan mock drafts.
Yeah. We got to hit these super chats,
Oh, we do have some super chats.
Couple supers have come in.
So we do have one from Aaron.
Someone says draft Brought Bowers #1. Aaron, you seen the Iron Claw? I've not seen it. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Is it good?
Pretty
Scale
good.
1 to 10. 8.2?
I would say it's probably an 8.
Low 8s? Okay.
An 8. Yeah, it's good. It's crazy. It's a true story. Actually, we're based in Dallas. The story actually the family lived in Denton.
Really?
Yeah, it's a wrestling family. It's really sad, actually. It's a really tragic story about, a family and how a lot of bad stuff happens to them. But it's a true
Trailer
story.
looked good. I watched the trailer.
True story.
All right. I may have to go see it. Yo X. Mr. Steal Yo Girl here. If the Bears trade down to keep Fields, how far should they go? What do you think the best haul would be? I think ideally, if you're keeping Fields, what I would try to execute is what they tried last year, but the Texans backed out, is the double trade down. Trade to 2 with Washington. They can go get their guy in Caleb. And then you trade again. See if the Raiders will come up and give you a haul. See if Denver will come up and give you a haul. See if the Giants at 6 want to come up and get a quarterback. Like, if you're keeping Fields, I would try to execute the double trade down. Now, it's hard to do that. You got to find multiple teams that want to move up, but I do think Washington would trade up if the Bears were willing to trade down. I do feel confident in that. Now, they may have a price. The reports are it would take a historic offer. I don't know if they're willing to go that far, but if the Bears simply come to the conclusion that they're keeping Justin, that would be my strategy. Now, the other option is trade down to 2 or 3 if New England wants to pick, take Marvin there, and then pick again at 9. But, man, if I'm keeping Fields, I want as much capital as possible. That would be my strategy. So, that's what I would do. Appreciate the super chats. We'll count them up at the end and see how long Jeremy and I's workout is going to be here. All right. This is Chris Kingwell's mock draft. You may have to go full screen, Jeremy. My eyes aren't great these days. Or we could go 2 box. Let's go 2 box and you help me out here.
Yeah, I got you.
We can go 2 box.
All right, here we go. So this one, it's a trade down scenario with the Patriots. You get their first round pick next year,
obviously,
their second round pick next year,
and then 3 this year.
Number
obviously.
3.
So Marvin Harrison, you take Bowers at 9. So this is clearly a build around Fields. You get Jackson Powers Johnson 34. Now, don't think he's fallen that far.
Now,
I think he goes round 1.
The pick where I'm like, what is going on? You take Spencer Rattler at 68.
Well, I'll say this, Jeremy. If you do keep Fields, I'm still open to a QB on day 2 because, I
would rather,
get another
spend
piece.
That 68 pick on getting, a couple more defensive
Well, I think
players.
it's kind of the Eagles' idea of you keep Wentz, but in case he doesn't work out, we really like this, Jalen Hurts, so we'll just draft him.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that. Cole Bishop, you get help me out here.
Cole Bishop, safety out of Utah at 75.
There's your Eddie Jackson replacement potentially.
You have Zion Tapula Batoy.
I haven't watched him
Edge
yet.
Washington, which I don't know if he falls that far.
Okay. Cam Hart.
Get
another corner.
122. Javion Cohen.
I like Cohen as a guard guy. Early day 3 maybe.
And then 194 Keith Randolph.
Local, played at Illinois.
Yeah.
I think he can be a rotation defensive lineman. All right, so there's Chris. Sam Tara, he's also keep Justin Fields.
Kind of the same
Marvin Harrison
here.
at 3. Yeah, he gets future first and second.
Trades down from 9 as well.
To 19.
To 19 gets Jerzon Newton. 34 gets Jackson Powers Johnson. Tyler Nubin at 44. Jatavion Sanders at 68. Devontae Walker at 77.
You're definitely loading up in this draft.
Blake Corum at 110. Javon Solomon, the edge from Troy at 122. Zach Zinter at 142, which that's
I don't think he falls that far.
Yeah.
These simulators are a bit out of whack still.
Muhammad Kamara.
Like Muhammad Kamara.
At 146. You end up the picks that you're getting next year, a first from New England, a second from New England, a second from the Rams, and a third from the Saints.
Look, if your team keep Justin Fields, this is doing it pretty well. You get him Marvin Harrison, you get him a center in Jackson Powers Johnson, Newton to play defensive tackle. You get Jatavion Sanders, who you and I both really like. You watched him in high school a lot, Jeremy.
Yeah, he's good.
And then Tez Walker, who didn't have a great Senior Bowl, but I think in the 3rd round is pretty good value. And you get a good back in Blake Corum. So I like that. It's a good mock.
Are you ready for more trades?
Let's do it. This is catch your breath, folks.
Joshua
Canali.
I don't even want to. You trade down a ton in this one. You get. Wow, this one's interesting. Marvin Harrison at 3, Jared Verse at 11, so you trade down again. You trade down from again for 35, and you get Michael Penix.
Okay.
You get Jackson Powers-Johnson at 36, Byron Murphy at 40, Kalen Bullock at 68, Josh Newton at 90, Jaden Hicks at 110, Keith Randolph Jr. at 142, Kenny Logan at 148, Jared Wiley at 166.
My boy. Look at all these picks.
And next year, you're getting a first from Washington, a second from
So
New
I think
England.
he traded down to 2 and then traded down to 3.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And then you get a second from the Jets, a second from the Vikings, a second from Washington, a third from New Orleans, and a fourth from New Orleans.
All the picks. I like it, Josh.
I mean, you'd have 5 second-round picks in 2025.
I like hedging with Penix, too. It gives you a security blanket there.
A little bit more tamed one.
Yeah, okay. James's mock draft. This is the first Caleb draft we got. Caleb at 1. I mean, if you trade down and get a Dunze at 13, sign me up. Jatavion Sanders at 44. Christian Haynes had a good Senior Bowl. Get some guard depth. I think you should do that, especially after cutting Cody Whitehair. I like getting Marshawn Lloyd in the 4th. Mekhi Wingo's a good pick there, too. And then developmental center type in the 5th round, Tanner Bortolini. So I like this one. This is, not too much chaos, but in terms of standing pat to get a Dunze and Sanders there, along with going Caleb is
yeah. And
I think this does outline too, Jeremy. This idea that if you take a QB at 1, you can't build around him is just not true. You have a lot of cap space. You have another top 10 pick. If you trade Justin Fields, you're going to get something for him.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can't do that.
When you think, because obviously they're going to have to make the decision at some point, unless they do plan on keeping Fields and whoever they choose.
Which that's been thrown out there. I think it's very unlikely.
When do you think that domino falls with either trading Fields or the pick?
If they've made the decision to trade Justin Fields, I would do it before free agency. If it's the pick, I would be more patient. I would, they traded it before free agency last year, but I'd be willing to wait that out a little longer to see, if you get closer to the draft, if that price goes up. But I just think Fields' max price is going to be before free agency because he's such a specific quarterback. Any team that wants him is going to want to know if they have him because that's going to decide how they build the rest of their roster.
Yeah. This next one, the account is dead 13's mock draft. Caleb Williams, then you trade back and get Brock Bowers at 10, which I don't hate. And then you trade up and get Brian Thomas Jr. at 20.
Like that.
75, Cedric Van Pran, the center from Georgia.
Okay.
James Williams, the safety from Miami at 81. Then you go Blake Corum, Tyler Davis, Xavier Thomas, edge from Clemson, Jalen Simpson, cornerback from Auburn. I love the pick of Eric All at 198.
Yeah, they need another tight end.
Aneem Dankwa, offensive tackle from Howard at 213. One of the best HBCU products, a big mountain of a man, Aneem Dankwa. Miami,
Not familiar with him. I need to look.
I'm going to butcher this. Yeah.
And then Joshua Cephas, who is he the guy that didn't play this year? He might have been. There was a UTSA guy that didn't play this year, but a lot of day 3 jockeying in this mock draft, which I kind of like. Get some extra bullets in the chamber and get some more picks.
This one,
Jason Eric.
I don't know if I can go down with this one.
Yeah, I don't think I could trade all the way to 17, man. I mean, to turn 2 top 10 picks, and sure, you have, how many picks is that in the top 75? Is that 9? It's 9 top 75 picks, but I like Adonai Mitchell, but is he ready to be a number 2 right away? I don't know. You get a future first and 2 seconds, so this is just a volume, basically a volume day 2 draft.
This is the draft where it's we are going to bust-proof this draft. You draft 2 wide receivers, or 3 wide receivers right there. You get multiple offensive linemen in Christian Haynes and Cedric Van Pran. You get multiple defensive tackles in Jerzon Newton and Mason Smith. You're grabbing...
My problem with this mock, Jeremy, is sure you're helping Fields, but there's more unknowns with it. You've almost gone too far, I feel like.
Yeah.
If I'm helping Fields, get him Marvin Harrison Jr.
That's Lee Simons.
That's what I'm doing.
He's getting Marvin Harrison
and Bowers,
Jr.
yeah. I'd rather just have those 2 guys than 4 or 5 good but not great prospects,
Yeah. Then you get
You
Tyler
get Newbin replaces Jackson.
Michael Hall, who had a really good Senior Bowl.
Yep.
Adisa Isaac, edge from Penn State.
Jalen Wright, Tennessee, get another running back. Bortolini again.
Bortolini.
It's a little early for Bortolini.
And you end up getting a first and a second next year from New England.
Yeah, this is a pretty good draft if you're keeping Fields.
And this one from PFF.
Aaron Plaskin. Caleb and Rome, that's been common. This one includes a Fields trade. That's pretty next level. He sent Justin Fields
for a first and a third, and you're sending your second.
2025 second?
No. Or no, yeah, 2025.
Yeah, because the Bears don't have a second this year. Okay. Yeah, Chuck's helping me read that. So that's an interesting idea.
And you get
Braylon Trice, who I like. You still get Bullard in the third. That's good. Johnny Wilson, who's a massive human being. You get him there. You get Van Brand, your center. Cade Stover. Drayton Nugent, another interior developmental guy. So, yeah, this is an interesting one. I mean, you still get Caleb and Rome. You get a pass rusher. You get Bullard. I think you're getting 4 starters there. Quarterback, receiver, edge. And Johnny Wilson and Van Brand are potential starters too. So
not bad.
Cade Stover could be your tight end too. So
I kind of like that.
There you go, 9 mocks. I know Tito was asking. Tito, I didn't get to everyone in my DMs because again I was getting them all prepared and then the news dropped. So we'll do this again. Maybe when we get to our next milestone, we'll show more mocks. If I have time, we'll get to them on another show as well before then. Give me a follow over there at HGramNFL. I'm publishing every single day about latest Bears news, rumors, other content, so don't miss out. Shout out to Jeremy Chuggs for producing this thing, filling in for the vacationing Nick Roloff, a.k.a. Rolly. If you want to support the show, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. Shout out to all of you. If I didn't get to your mock, I apologize. We'll try to do that in the future. Bear down, FGB. We'll see you next time.